Hi, I have made a few updates since the first video on this plugin. I started working on the post thumbnail generation, but I still struggle with the preview size and offset. The way it works might be kind of hacky though. It generates a fake scene with the transformation from the pose and snapshots it into an image. As it uses a viewport, it's hard to get the global transforms for the fake nodes, so calculating the size of the preview scene to fit the thumbnail size is very hard. Also, I've added an expandable tab to the pose library doc. This will hide unnecessary info when you don't need it, so there's more space for the thumbnails. I changed a bit of the code to account for the new PostLib file structure. Now groups and subgroups are renamed to collections and subcollections. I still can't figure out a name for the animation track data though. I thought about groups, but that may be confused with Godot's group system. I thought about selection, which although I really like how it rhymes, it might be really confusing to say select selection, and finally network, which might be confused with some internet system, but I guess it fits the node metaphor as a network is a bunch of ropes with knots, I guess? I dropped the new post pop-up window entirely as it was an extremely clunky way to create poses. At least I could reuse the expandable tab code from it. Turns out it is actually pretty easy to program it. You just toggle the visibility of a bunch of controls. The new system works within the animation bottom panel. I suggested it in the last devlog, and now I finally implemented it. This seems like a much better solution as Godot users are pretty comfortable with how the animation track works in Godot. I didn't take this approach at first because I thought it was impossible to select an animation player outside the edited scene root. But then I looked into the ZLAN editor debugger plugin and thought, wait, you can select nodes from the editor interface. So I looked into it and didn't even need to craft a hacky solution. There's a class for handling node selection. The only downside is that I can't unselect it. Whoops! When you create a new pose, the animation player inside the pose library doc will be selected. So the animation panel will open with an animation with the same name as the pose key selected. For every property you key from any node inside the PostLib scene, this property will be saved to the pose. When you are done selecting which properties to store into the pose, you press the same button you used to create the pose to save it. And now the pose appears here in the pose palette with a thumbnail, although the thumbnail is kind of glitchy as of now. As I was changing the PostLib file structure, I've added the key transition as well, so a bit of redundant manual animating can be automated a little. While at it, I've implemented a warning system for easier debugging, and also because it makes it easier for users to know if they did something wrong with the program. So that's my progress as of now. The next thing I want to do is to implement editing of poses, so if you make a mistake you can change just one property and save it. That's all. If you like this devlog, please give it a like. See ya!